Welcome back, and so let's get straight to our very first conversation, which appears to be something brewing in Delta State. But there's a backstory to it. Recall that towards the end of 2024, the former governor of Delta State, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, was invited by the EFCC and quizzed over allegations of diverting 1.3 trillion naira. Of course, the aides to the former governor spoke to that, saying that nothing could be further from the truth, that the former governor embarked on massive infrastructure development to which the EFCC were invited, to monitor and audit, and they were satisfied by that event, by that, audit of the funds of the commission. But not long after, we also saw that the former governor defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. And since then, nothing has been heard about the invitation of the former governor of Delta State. But a group has since arisen, to demand that the EFCC rearrests the former governor and, of course, tries him for those allegations. And so joining us on the program this morning to speak on behalf of that group is Mr. Ofochi Atagana, convener of Coalition of Delta North Groups, who joins us from our Abuja studio. Mr. Atagana, good morning and welcome to the Morning Brief.
Oh, good morning. Thank you.
Now, I'm looking through some of your demands as contained in your letter written to the EFCC. And, let me just read from some of them. We issue a 7-day ultimatum to the EFCC to effect the arrest and arraignment of Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa. Should the commission fail to meet the demand at the expiration of the 7-day ultimatum, the Coalition of Delta North Youths will have no option but to mobilize the Delta State youths to occupy the EFCC headquarters. So that is your resolve. Let's start from this particular point. Perhaps you also want to tell us why the Delta North youth is now rising to, reopen this case nearly a year after the FCC initially quizzed the former Delta governor.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. For us, we feel there's no better time to call on the EFCC to reopen the case because a few months ago, I was a victim. I was a victim of the alleged diversion of the 1.3 trillion naira and another 40 billion naira as alleged by the EFCC against the person of Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, the former governor of Delta State. Why do I say I was a victim? I'm a Deltan. I come from Delta North, precisely. And my mother took ill a few months ago. I sent her to the hospital. There was no doctor. There was no doctor. Before then, my little niece was sick. The same issue happened. And this same person who had the opportunity to utilize the revenue that came to Delta State, especially the 13% derivation, he had the opportunity of using it to fix infrastructure, employ medical personnel, but he never did. This is somebody that is coming from the health sector because Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa is a medical doctor, but he never did all of this. So, looking at this time, this same person is presenting himself again to represent us at the Senate. And to me, I was like, wait a minute. You had the opportunity to develop our area, to utilize the resources that came to us, that are accrued to us, being oil producing state. But you never did. How then should we allow you to go and represent us again? And I began to investigate. Alongside some of my comrades, we began to investigate, and we got good intelligence that the EFCC have concluded, they have concluded investigation against Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, and they have watertight case against him. But because of, like we were told some time ago by one of the leaders of the APC, that when you defect to the ruling party, the APC, your sins are forgiven. And to us, it shouldn't be that, because the APC as a political party, they came to power on the promise to fight corruption. So when we now have somebody who has been indicted, to have misappropriated or diverted a whooping sum of 1.3 trillion naira and another 40 billion naira which he cannot account for, defecting from the People's Democratic Party to the APC, and from then henceforth the matter seems to have died. To us, that is unacceptable. If we are serious as a country, ready to fight corruption, the APC should not be a haven for the accused persons to hide. And for me, APC, knowing the manifesto of the APC is not a party that shields criminals. Therefore, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, being a member of the APC, should not be shielded if we are serious about the fight against graft.
Mr.
So
Tagana,
to me, being a victim, I think the EFCC, having concluded investigation, should, and I say, they should rearrest Dr. Okowa and arraign him. That is the simple demand we have made.
Mr. Tagana,
I don't have anything against the person. Just a moment. I don't have anything against the person of Okowa, but the issue I have is the issue of corruption. And like the late President Muhammad Buhari said, if we do not fight corruption will kill us as a country. So the earlier we take up this issue, the better. I am a stakeholder. I am an indigene of Delta State.
All right.
I am an indigene, particularly of Delta North.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You say your agitation has been born out of the rot that you have seen in the health sector, and you are disheartened because the former governor himself is a doctor, and you waited a year and a year and a half before coming through, with this renewed call for the arrest of the former governor. Wasn't this?
Like I said,
wasn't this? Hold on. Let me land. Hold on. Didn't you observe this? Didn't your group, discover this rot in the health sector in Delta State in 2024 when the governor was arrested by the EFCC? And why didn't you follow through all of this time with the arrest to investigate and discover whatever it is that you have discovered now, such that the justice system would have at least begun at that time?
Okay, thank you. Like I said, I have been aware. Of Dr. Ifeanyi's arrest and detention precisely on November 4th, 2024. I have been aware, but I never, I think I should take responsibility because it never hits me, because I never saw a reason. To me, I felt the due process of the law should have its course. But it didn't affect me personally until about 2 or 3 months ago. When my own mother could not access health care in a state where somebody is alleged to have misappropriated 1.3 trillion naira and another 40 billion naira, to put it in perspective. So I didn't quite feel it that much. Then what further piqued my interest to say, hold on, this same person has an allegation against him. Is he the best that Delta North have? Is he the best that we can put forth there to say represent us? And to me, he's not the best. He should go and clear himself of the allegation against him before he can. You see, we the Delta Northerners, we the Anambra people, we are proud people, and we have people who are eminently qualified with no iota of crime
Mr. Atagana, if I may comment.
linked to them.
Yes, Mr. Atagana, if I may comment.
So,
just a moment.
to us.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on. Yeah, go on.
First, I empathize with you over the inability of your mom to be able to get the kind of quality health care she was supposed to get. I think she deserves better. On the other hand,
thank you.
On the other hand, is the fact that it may be, you can correct me if I'm wrong, your part of the town is where what he did for the state has not gotten to or did not get to. I don't know whether this is the testimony of the entire...
I beg to differ. I am sorry for butting in.
Can you just hold on? Can you just hold on, please? Just hold on, so that I can land with my question. I don't think, I don't know whether everybody in Delta will say he didn't do anything. Now, let's stay with the issue. First, he's not a criminal.
It cuts across.
Yes. First, he's not a criminal because there's no court that has found him to be a criminal. So I needed to correct that impression.
Alleged.
Gentleman, Mr. Atagana, can you calm down?
Okay, go on.
All right. So, first is an allegation. That's on one hand. So, is this really about calling on the EFCC to do their work, or this is about politics? Are you being funded to come and do what you're doing on TV?
I will say with all sense of responsibility that I am not partisan. I am not a card-carrying member of any political party, and I say this again, anybody can run background check on me. I am not being funded. As far as I'm concerned, I come from a block. I come from an area that has been completely abandoned. I come from the Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency. We produce so much oil. We have huge deposits of gas, but the development there is abysmal. In fact, there is no single development in all of the communities that make up Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency. In fact, there was a post from the verified Facebook handle of Dr. Okowa, then as governor of Delta State, precisely on 21st of October 2019, wherein he stated that he just arrived China. What was the purpose? He said it was to meet investors for the Kwale Industrial Park. Kwale Industrial Park. And he said Kwale Industrial Park will provide job opportunities for around 70,000 Deltans. As I speak to you, send your investigative journalists, send your colleagues to go to Kwale and ask and find out and investigate if there is a functional Kwale Industrial Park. Mind you, it was reported that Dr. Okowa's government budgeted 800 million naira as compensation to those whose lands were acquired, and another $10 billion, somewhere around $10 billion as counterpart fund for 25% equity in that same Kwale Industrial Park.
Mr. Atagana, I think the point is noted. Just a moment, because of time. We don't have the luxury of time. So let me throw in this before my colleague comes in. If Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, who is the former governor of Delta State, if he wasn't running for, and I respect the fact that a citizen will take up this case to the EFCC to say, EFCC, how far? You should have done your work. That's commendable. But my question is, if he didn't show interest in running for the senatorial seats in the Delta North now, would you have approached the EFCC?
I pretty well would have approached the EFCC because, like I said, it didn't occur to me. It didn't because I have been probably I will take responsibility for staying aloof, being apolitical, staying away from politics until it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking that people so close to me could not. I know how much I had to spend for them to get access to health care outside of Ukwani land, outside of Ndokwa the federal constituency. We had to go and source for health care services elsewhere. Right. Meanwhile, someone who incidentally comes from the health sector was a governor, and not just a governor. Senator Okowa doesn't come from Delta Central. He doesn't come from Delta South. He comes from my Central District, the Delta North Central District. Yet he failed us woefully.
All right.
He failed us woefully.
And you have a right.
Whether he had contested or not, right, I still would have petitioned the EFCC to find out.
Right.
Because at that time, he had not declared.
Well, Mr.
He had not declared.
You certainly have a right to express yourself. You're a citizen and someone who is closely impacted by the governance of the former governor. So, I mean, nobody's taking that from you. But you'll understand why there are questions around the motive why you're doing this. He announces, even before he announced, or he made the announcement, a lot of people already saw that coming, right? So people are thinking, who may be possibly responsible for this? And that's how people think. It's a natural thing. They try to connect the dots. Okay. So they think, okay, he has announced he wants to run for, senatorial seat, Delta North. Who's going to be threatened the most? And they look around and say, oh, wait a minute. There's Senator Ned Nwoko, who's occupying that seat right now. He's going to be threatened naturally, and that's a natural thing. There's even the former Delta State House of Assembly Speaker, Victor Che, on the wings as well. But then they zero in on Senator Ned Nwoko because they see that he's a prominent figure, he's represented the people. And if you naturally look at both of you, what is the link? You are supporting the creation of Anioma State. He's also supporting the creation of Anioma State. So you'd understand again why people are wondering, are you being sponsored by him to do this? Is there something that we do not know that is playing out here? So again, that question has come up. So have you had conversations in recent times?
If I'm a button.
No, it's your floor now. Your floor is yours now.
Okay. Now, until we stop politicizing every noble cause in this country, we will still continue to struggle as a people. There is no doubt. It is within my right. It is within my right to agitate for the creation of Anioma State. Just as it is within the right of Okowa to aspire to any office in this country. The Constitution is very clear about that. But to say Senator Nwoko is funding me, that is preposterous. That, for me, is preposterous. Because Senator Nwoko didn't know me. I didn't know him. As a matter of fact, the issue around Anioma State, on the contrary, I can speak confidently because I was the first person to draft the memorandum for the creation of Anioma State. And I went with my colleagues to the House of Representatives to submit the memorandum. And I have the documents. The documents are there. At that time, Senator Ned didn't even think of Anioma State. But after we have submitted the memorandum for the creation of Anioma State, I stand to be quoted. You can quote me anywhere. After we had submitted the memorandum, I called my comrades and I said, listen, this memorandum will just die naturally if we do not have someone at the National Assembly pushing it for us. At that time, we began to make plans. Who do we approach? We began to look for ways to approach the 3 members representing the 3 federal constituencies that make up Delta North. They were literally not accessible. Then we decided to say, okay, let us see if we can access Senator Ned Nwoko. And of course, we were able to access him. At that time, I was not part of those who visited him. But when we finally got talking, he gave us his word. He said, okay, if this is what I represent you, if this is what you want, I will in response to the demands of you people who I represent, I will take this up.
So you're confirming.
So, and your master creation, although
Mr. Tagana, just a moment.
Politicized,
so you're confirming that you've had conversations with him, you've had meetings with him, you have a relationship with him.
Yes, but that does not. You see, we should not. Excuse me. We should not divert attention from the substance of the corruption allegation that has been leveled against the person of Dr. Okowa. I am a prominent agitator. I'm a critical agitator for the creation of an Anioma state. You cannot use that. Are we now saying that because I have been agitating for Anioma state and Senator Ned has been the one pushing for Anioma state, are we now saying that that is sufficient to water down the corruption allegation or the criminal allegation that has been leveled against Dr. Okowa? Are we now saying that exculpates Okowa? No. Let him go and answer for the allegation. Nobody should politicize this. Otherwise, we end up chasing
Mr. Tagana.
How do I put it? Chasing shadows. We end up chasing shadows in the name of fighting corruption. If we are serious as a people to fight corruption, we should be able to separate between a legitimate agitation for state creation and corruption. The fight against
Mr. Tagana,
we should not mingle them together. Thank you.
You're confirming now that indeed you know Senator Ifeanyi, Senator Ned Nwoko, that you have had interactions.
Nobody from Anioma.
But moments ago,
from Anioma who does not know him.
But moments ago, you denied knowing him.
I didn't deny knowing him. I said he doesn't be prior to that.
No, moments ago, you said you had never had interactions with him, that you didn't know him.
No, you can't misquote me. I said prior to the agitation for Anioma State, he never knew me, I never knew him. What brought us together is the agitation for Anioma State, because the agitation for Anioma State has been on. So in fact, it predates Senator Ned, it predates me. But like I told you, I was the person that drafted the memorandum. I drafted the memorandum for the creation of Anioma State. So Anioma State is not going to be, you cannot use Anioma State agitation to water down the huge allegation against Senator Okowa. We cannot politicize that allegation. Senator Okowa has been indicted. The EFCC, I'm calling on the EFCC to rearrest him and arraign him. That is what we should be talking about.
Mr. Tagana.
Anioma State.
Mr. Tagana.
Different issues.
Yes, indeed. So in the race for 2027, for the senatorial ticket for Delta North, who do you believe is better suited to secure that ticket? Senator Okowa or Senator Ned Nwoko? Like I said, no, it's a straightforward question.
It is not for me to decide.
It's a straightforward question.
It is not for me to decide. My answering is that it is not for me. My interest is not about who goes to the Senate to represent us. My interest is on the indictment of Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa.
All right.
He needs to be rearrested and arraigned. That is my interest. I don't care if he goes to the National Assembly, so long as he is rearrested and arraigned. I don't care if he goes to it is within his right. He has constitutional right to go to represent us. The people, if we the people decide that if we elect him to represent us, that is, I don't have interest about whether
Mr. Tagana,
is the person,
Mr.
or
Tagana
Oche is the person, or he.
Yeah.